Hey yo, what's up, my beloved hashtag champions fam? Finally, it's the return of the bad guy, Zeke 4-0, back with a brand new WWE Champions video. A lot has gone on in my absence since my departure, but it feels great to be back. Shout out to all of those who reached out to me personally to see how I'm doing. I'm in a better headspace now, and it feels great to be back to the game that I love, WWE Champions. So let's just catch up real quick because a lot has happened since my departure. 6-star champions are a thing now. Yes, they are. And they have changed the game for sure moving forward. Now, this is what's very interesting with 6-star. Shout out to Johnny Knoxville popping up. And yes, Johnny Knoxville from Jack A fame is in the game. And he's a pretty fun unit, to say the least, from all the gameplay that I've seen. But with 6 stars now in the game, we of course now have 6-star tokens. And we finally have an important, critical, pivotal use for our superstar shards because you're going to need superstar shards moving forward in order to take your characters further up. So now, not only do you need to be hoarding tokens, TP, coins, okay? You need to be keeping your superstar shards in check. At first, they were just good for using for talent up events. Now you need them to advance. And not only just any old ordinary superstar shards. You need superstar shards of the character that you're going to take up to 6-star moving forward, or you're going to need shards of superstars that share the same class type and type of build. So when I mean builds, I mean, of course, we're finally seeing utilization due to the introduction of faction boss battles. We now have utilization of chaotic, defensive, aggressive, and balanced superstar shards pertaining to the advancement of your champions moving forward. And we also got the introduction of autoplay within the game. So now you can just hit auto and your superstars, the AI, the computer, is going to handle the game matches for you. Now this could be a hit and a miss, as we've seen with the opposition when playing against the AI. Sometimes the AI makes really smart moves. Sometimes it doesn't. So some matches, you'll be able to auto easily. But when it comes to some content, and depending on your roster, it might be better for you to hop in manually and take care of business that way. But there's also been some mishaps that have gone on, all right? Let's be real. We just had a fiasco that happened over the weekend because of something that had to pertain to the faction shop, I believe. Mistakes happen. It is what it is. I respect it. It's a game. It's the champions been champions. It ain't going to stop being champions. If you know, you know. If you get scoped, it shouldn't be surprising by now, right? So we had that. Shout out to Grant Camping. Those 80 loot pool coins. Saw a lot of people pull up and pick up some real good stuff. Absolutely free. So we take those W's. But there's also always going to be some shenanigans made. We're still waiting on a Zombie Ray tour for this MLC. Now, I get it. I understand where people are coming from. Okay, we got the Ray tour here, but we should also have a Ray tour somewhere else. Now, that's how I feel personally. Maybe I'm just jumbled up. I get it. We had a victory tour for him last month, and we got this tour here. Maybe it's asking a lot to ask for another tour for Ray. It is what it is. Again, I'm just getting back in the right headspace when it comes to the game. So maybe that's it. The victory, we got the victory tour from last MLC. We got the tour here for Ray. No more Ray tours. I get it. If we get a bonus one, that'd be awesome too. But we had a lot of interesting things take place within this MLC that we have, okay? We have this Legend Classic. We got a free-to-play RA, Ruthless Aggression Striker, R-Truth, K-Quick. You know, the gimmick that he had when he was with Road Dogg. Still don't know why they don't have a tag link together, but to each his own. Different eras, there's no excuse. They could make it work. They could have done it. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. And we also got Rebel by Design, Showboat, Modern Era, Lita, Waifu for Laifu. Thank God for her. She is absolutely fun. And Quick is actually pretty good too for what he serves. He's not only a great coach for Lita, but he's also a monster when it comes to clearing your usual content grind, and he's going to play a crucial role in faction boss content too. Depending on if you want to use him, he is an option there, to say the least. Might not be a go-to, but he is an option. And since this was all about legends, we got a brand new Bret Hart. We also got a brand new monster of a unit with Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Rest in paradise, my boy. We even got a crazy out of left field choice in Captain Lou Albino. Shout out to Cyndi Lauper. Girls just want to have fun. If you know, you know. It all went down in Madison Square Garden that day. And we basically got a 2-for-1 special when it comes to MLC content this month as well, because you did not see wrong. Ghostbusters are in the game. I repeat, Ghostbusters are in the game. This should not be surprising. However, I will say this. I did feel it was kind of off-putting having the Ghostbusters in this game during November, because it's Ghostbusters. It made more sense to have that running alongside the zombies in October, Trick or Treat, the costume. That aesthetic makes sense. But it is what it is. We got a really good unit in John Cena, Acrobat, Legend. I'm getting the feeling they're all Legend units just because Ghostbusters came out in the 80s and the Legends era correlates with the 80s and the 70s. That's the only thing that I could get off of that. But we also got some real cool characters. We got Johnny Knoxville here. We even got the Stay Puft Man in the game, y'all. Stay Puft. That is right. Look, I was surprised by this because look, if you look at the action figures, for the characters in game, you got Roman Reigns, John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, and Stay Puft, right? But the original run of characters, I believe it was John Cena, Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Undertaker. Didn't get Undertaker, didn't get The Rock, didn't get Shawn Michaels, but we did get Cena, Reigns, Hogan, and Austin. It is what it is. It's now just like the action figures for Mutants and Motu, Masters of the WWE Universe. There's plenty of action figures there that they could work with. I was thinking since we were getting all of them, I was hoping for the ghostly Undertaker to come in and be the OP character. Nah, instead it ended up being Stay Puft. It is what it is though. Now, my roster is looking good, as you can see. No 6 stars yet. No 6 stars yet, but we're getting there. I'm learning from the broski Bob. Quality over quantity. I'm not going to have that many 6 stars because I'm not spending the way that I used to spend in this game anymore. I've gotten to the point where I've built up the characters that I like. I got my favorites. And I'm content with that. I got a couple rock solids. I got a couple of six star options already right there. But I'm glad that my first 6 star is going to turn out to be The Undertaker. Hands down. If it wasn't going to be Rock, it's going to be The Undertaker. Got him. Got the shards. Got the tokens. As you can see, this is just a perfect example. He's a powerhouse. He's an aggressive powerhouse. Great versatile unit for any type of gameplay. And basically, I need 4,000 shards. I don't have any of them, and I'm not going to be spending money to pull the shards. I remember going fuse hunting back in the day on my game and talking about, hey, let's do fuse hunting. I'm not doing shard hunting. The RNG is just too much there. But I do have enough of certain characters like Brock and Bulldog and Roman Reigns and everything, so I can choose them, and boom, I'm golden. I don't even have to pick Alpha. It's good with just using Kane shards and Brock shards. And the way they drop left and right, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to having my first 6 star champion in The Undertaker. And it's an honor. It certainly is an honor there. So I can't wait for him. Trickster Ray is right up there. Zombie Ray, I was happy. I was blessed to get him. Committed to it. Was able to pick him up. And of course, got the waifu Lita. Y'all know how much I love my waifu Lita. Wasn't able to get Hall of Fame Lita, but I got waifu Lita. Now, let's be real here, though. There's another reason why I'm on here, and I want to talk to y'all. And that is simply because of this. Winter Wonder is coming, y'all. Winter Wonder is coming. Now, this is going to be a first because I just mentioned that we pretty much had a 2-for-1 special with the Legends Classic. We basically got Lita, K-Quick, R-Truth. Then we also were able to get Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil, Captain Lou Albano, and we got another champion more than likely releasing. No, we're done. We're actually done for this one. So it was K-Quick, Lita, the Hart Foundation, Captain Lou. Then you also had John Cena as a freebie, Roman Reigns, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, Stay Puffed, and then we had Johnny Knoxville for Black Friday. So we got a total of 11 characters in 1 month for November. Now we're going from that to having a 2-month-long MLC. For y'all who don't know yet, Happy Corbin is going to be the free-to-play unit, and then Ezekiel is going to be the chase. Now, here's my thing for this. First and foremost, both gimmicks are done. Both gimmicks are done. If you're watching wrestling now, Elias is back. He's not Ezekiel anymore. Ezekiel was his previous entity when he was on NXT. Vince liked his look, brought him up. He became the Drifter Elias. Then he left. He buried Elias, came back as Ezekiel, came this whole shtick with Kevin Owens of you're not Ezekiel, you're Elias. Let Zeke, who wants to hear Zeke speak instead of who wants to walk with Elias. Baron Corbin went through his whole thing from being the lone wolf and being the commissioner. The next thing, he's going broke, losing his car, hits it big, comes back as Happy Corbin. Then he leaves. Now he's back teamed up with John Bradshaw Layfield. Where is Ruthless Aggression Trickster JBL Wrestling God? It is inevitable. If we were finally able to get Umaga, the Samoan Bulldozer, it's time for the Wrestling God to show up. Point blank period. Both of these gimmicks are dead. So that's one thing. Another side is this. I personally feel that if this was the case, this kind of reminds me of when we had Braun Breaker. I can't remember who the other superstar was with it. But basically, Braun Breaker was the free-to-play option, and there was somebody else that was the chase option. And if I think correctly, I think that was Dominic Mysterio. I believe that was. I believe that's what the case was. Dominic was the chase, and you had to spend money to get the plate and get all the characters for him. And Braun was the freebie. But realistically, I felt that Dom should have been the free-to-play because he only had been a tag team champion while Braun was NXT champion. This is the same case here. I would have felt better if Ezekiel was the free-to-play and Baron Corbin was the chase. Or better yet, where's Madcap Moss? Madcap Moss teamed up with Baron Corbin would have made more sense to me. Personally, that's just me, aesthetically. But dead gimmicks coming into the game to be the 2-month chase, these are two characters, in my opinion, they don't gravitate, they don't pull people in my opinion. That's just me, though. I could be wrong, but it's going to be going for a while. It literally is going on until January 30th. So we're having Christmas as well as New Year, and it's going to follow up. So the information that's on the blog right now is literally just for part 1. There's going to be a part 2. Now, that leaves a lot up in the air as well. Does that mean that we are going to end up having, I don't know, an additional free-to-play unit? It's also Winter Wonderland type stuff. So Santa Hogan's going to be coming back. We might get the 12 Days of Christmas situation happen. That's a given. But aside from that, my thing is this. You literally just had a 2-in-1 MLC. You basically had Legends Classic and Ghostbusters 2-for-1. Stretched people thin already with resources. Resources are supposed to be getting an upgrade from what I've seen for the prize wall. And they also have for these characters, right? For these tours, from what I've seen, aside from the Lita tour, we're getting an update to the prize wall. That could go a lot of ways too. I don't know how to feel about it because now that we're 6 stars in there, we do need an overhaul to the prize wall. Pardon the alarm, the alarm. My dancing bear clock is going off with Hickory Dickory Dock, but no, that's Cinderella, bibbity bobbity boo. But I'm going to keep on. This is a raw video. So my thing is this: if these are the two characters that are coming into the game for a 2-month long contest, do we as the community even have the patience, the tolerance, the discipline to stay up with something? This is a new format, but it's a scary one. On one side, it's cool. Okay, we're getting a 2-month long MLC. Well, on one side, you're getting one talent up contest. The other side, you're going to be getting multiple tours. All right, multiple contests. But think about this. That means more coin contests, possibly, or an increase to coin contests now. That means TP contests. And the TP contests seem to have increased more. So that means more TP being invested. The deals and the offers in the stores have gotten out of hand, absolutely ludicrous. It is blatantly now pretty much a pay-to-win option. If there are top-tier free-to-play players out there, please rise up. Start making some content for people if they're even intrigued and playing, because as far as I know, I don't really know of that many new players joining and the downloading champions. It's basically the mainstays. The people who've been playing, we're in too deep, we've invested too much time, too much money, so we're not going anywhere. Like, there's people spending mortgages on this game, and kudos to you, because I love you whales. I consider myself a whale sometimes, depending on the time of day, because quite frankly, y'all keep the lights on. So I got nothing but love for the people who spend money on the game. Don't get it twisted. But it also gets to a point where I have to shake my head, because it becomes so blatantly obvious that it is becoming more and more pay to win friendly instead of free to play friendly, unless you got somebody or got an incredible faction like Phoenix Rises that's going to show you the ropes, give you the guidance, and have the patience to groom you and help you and teach you how to maneuver this game so you make your moves count. Like you saw on my roster, not everybody's 5-star gold, but I have projects. I have people that I invest in. I have people that I already know that I'm willing to commit my 6-star tokens when they come around. And hopefully when I have the shards, I'll even wait to get the shards that I need so that I can take them up and make that count. Not everybody, it's now to a point in this game, this isn't like Strike Force where you got 6-star, 7-stars, and you can go all willy-nilly like that. It isn't like Dokkan Battle or One Piece Treasure Cruise where you get easy A's of old characters, or you can reworks of old characters, limit breaks, so that you can make things count. You actually have to make your moves count on here. Now I get it. Again, kudos to the whales and stuff out there that are going to that can do these type of things. But for a 2-month MLC, my thing is the attention span. Is anyone going to have the attention span for this? Is this going to be a thing like, okay, you say 2 months, but what happens in the first month if you already unlock Elias or Ezekiel? And Baron Corbin and Ezekiel, in my opinion, not to be mean, I don't see them as draws. I really don't. They're not Rock. They're not Austin. They're not Undertaker. They're not Brock Lesnar. They're not the Road Warriors. They're not wrestlers that would keep that I see keeping someone's attention span for that long. That is my personal opinion. We got some solid, reasonable tours. We really do. We do have some solid options for tours, and I believe we also have we had solid options for superstars. Did I go past it? I might have not. But I saw a list like Hall of Fame Austin, Nikki Ash, Hall of Fame Brie, Hall of Fame Eddie. We were given a lot of these characters that they said that are going to be needed. Those bonus characters, those contest superstars. We were given a lot of them free. So some of these things are going to be easy to do because it seemed like a lot of callbacks to free-to-play characters and champions that we were given. But that's only part one. But my whole thing is too, who's really trying to go that hard for Ezekiel and Baron Corbin? A lot of things that people forget is that this is a mobile game. Just because Scopely wants you to do something doesn't mean you need to do something. So for me personally, if it's a 2-month MLC, maybe I'll turn around and buy the 4-star pack by the end of the 2 months. Maybe. I might. But Happy Corbin isn't somebody that I like. So I might just go and collect him as a trophy. Collect him and call it a day. Ezekiel, look, man, I get they're either going to have some busted abilities, trainer and coaching wise, but they're not appealing. They're not characters that pique interest. It isn't like you're getting Jimmy Superfly Snuka. It isn't like you're getting King Kong Bundy, rest in paradise. It isn't like you're getting a new version of Randy Orton, or it isn't like you're getting it's not like you're getting a Chase Cody Rhodes. It's not like you're getting a Sammy Uso, Sami Zayn. It isn't like you're getting Solo Sikoa, someone relevant. It isn't like you're getting NXT 2.0 Mandy Rose. I'm lost. And speaking of Mandy Rose, I am surprised that these two are in the game first compared to someone like Mandy Rose or Karrion Kross. There's a lot that's going on when it comes to the options for this. But again, 2 months. 2 months is a lot. And when you look at the content that Champions produces, I am hesitant to think this is going to be successful. But I don't knock them for trying something new. I do not knock them for trying something new. It will be interesting all the same. But these two as picks, I just feel, me personally, they weren't the right picks. Now, granted, getting them getting Corbin as a free to play, again, okay. Is he going to be as good as Riddle though? Is he? Is he? That's my thing. And is Ezekiel, is he going to be busted like Zombie Dominic? We've had some misses. We've had some real great freebies and some botched chases. We've had some supreme chases and subpar freebies. I don't know what to make out of this, but I literally tell you, if this is your first time trying out a 2-month curriculum, I would have led with some names that would have you enticed or have you intrigued. Could have easily done Judgment Day. Could have done Judgment Day Finn Balor, a chase Finn Balor. Could have done a freebie, another freebie Dom. Could have done a Judgment Day Damian or Judgment Day Rhea. You could have done that. I mean, I remember years ago when we had Christmas and they did the 4 Horsemen. You had Ric Flair. You had Slick Rick show up. You had Double A Arn. You had Stinger Sting. You had Lex Luger. They all debuted. And then you threw next big thing Brock Lesnar in there to keep people enticed. I remember stuff like that. I'm surprised we didn't even have a Survivor Series War Games tour. We used to have tours for the Big Four. I remember the Mardi Gras WrestleMania. Remember Royal Rumble? I'm still looking for a Royal Rumble Gauntlet Blitz for 30 men or 30 women. People be running that and give them great rewards. Give you like the 6-star selector medallions and stuff. That's stuff that they could do. Whether they do it or not is one thing, because let's be realistic. As much as I like this, give a constructive criticism to WWE champions, a lot of it falls on us. Every time there's a deal that pops up, for whatever reason, okay, I know people bought the Black Friday deals that gave you, 100 million coins. You got 10 6-star tokens, or I think there was like one deal where you got 10 6-star tokens. There was also a deal where you got like 5 of each 6-star token. Certain things I understand, especially if you know, okay, I love my faction, but I know my faction isn't top 20, the top 40, top 50. So I'm going to invest in these things to move my account forward so I can also be a benefit and an asset to my faction. I respect moves like that. I have no quarrel or no qualm with that, and I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. But it's also a thing by now that I feel, I get it. 6 stars just came out. They're still technically fresh. So you're going to have a trickle of 6 stars coming to the game. But by the time that you probably get enough for your first 6 star, they're going to be releasing 6 star silvers. They're going to be moving on to 6 star golds. So sometimes the money is something that drives the game. And just because people spend money on a game doesn't mean that it's a great game. That's something that I've come to, that I think a lot of people need to understand. You could spend a lot of money on a game for a chance to get a character and not get the character at all. But on the other side, you also look at it like this. I might get scoped on the loopholes, even though they're giving that, because they had the whole thing where with Bret Hart, you had like a 40%, you had a better chance, a percentage of getting something. So then they allowed that to roll out. They dropped the ball. But I also think they did that on purpose because they knew, well, if we allow this to happen here, they're going to spend money later. And lo and behold, people did. Because quite frankly, when I look at other mobile games, the deals that Champions came out with are piss poor, lackluster. But looking at how difficult it is to come by certain resources like those 6 star tokens, I can't be mad at someone making that investment. I can't. But it's also a thing that drives it because you're paying money for these resources and you're paying for all these things. But look at the content that we get. Even though 6 stars are coming to the game, Faction Boss, as Ari, in my opinion, as fun as it can be because you get boosts and buffs and stuff, it's not fun grinding out Faction Boss. To me, it's not. It's not as exciting as Invasions were. Invasions were cool. Feud is redundant. Blitzes, that's a given. Showdown, it's expected. So even though now you got a 2-month MLC thrown in there, does that make Champions any more attractive? To me, no, it doesn't. I literally play the game now because I love the characters that I've invested in. I've put in the time. I put in the work. I love the people in my faction, Phoenix Rises. I love the people that I interact with. I just love sometimes just going through and reading what's on Discord. He's seeing other people's opinions from the top factions, the 1%, all the way down, and just getting everyone's aspect. Pardon me. I feel that a lot of us this is me personally. I feel a lot of us are wrestling fans and we have been groomed to be let down. And because we've been groomed to let down, a thing called pride plays a role in it. You spent so much money in the game, you don't want to uninstall it. Or maybe you hold out a little longer and you give a little faith and you hope for something to change. To this day, I still don't know why we don't have a story mode, a proper story mode. I really don't. There were certain things that worked back in the day that they don't do now. And I don't know why they did away with it. There were certain things that worked and they did away with it. There were certain things that worked and then they nerfed it. It's a game, but it also is a game that makes it seem more like a chore. There's a lot of games now, like I'm playing Dokkan Battle, Trunks and Vegeta LR just came out. They provide you with enough content in the game where you could have a chance of pulling the best character in the game for free. You don't got to spend Dragon Stones. But because they give you enough content all the way around and it's fair, players spend their money. Champions is a game where they don't give us enough content. And even if you break this winter wonder into brackets, even if you do the 12 days of Christmas, looking at what you need, looking at the resources, and looking at, for instance, looking at these tours. These tours they just put up for the mutants and the Ghostbusters, right? If you don't got the selected characters, is it really worth it? Look at this. Okay, look at the jump. You got that. Then you got the bag, right? The bag got these shards, it got these characters, but you're more than likely going to get, 20 of these shards, 40 of these shards, and there's people who pull the cards, because I've been one of them. I was grateful to pull JBL, Bradshaw, APA when he was viable. But look at what you get beforehand. Okay, you get some you get a couple 4-star tokens, 5-star silvers. You get 1,250,000. It takes 150 mil, I believe, 150 million to take somebody up when you get them to 6-star. Just one character, 150 million. What is that? What is that? And you're going, and it's like these characters that you're fighting are actually viable characters. You're like going up against S tier characters, busted units that are running the move sets that can give you a problem, right? And that's what I get for my efforts. 3 5-star diamond tokens. What is that? Legitimately, like what's the point of me putting forth the effort of even trying or attempting? And then you get to this part, I feel, me personally, the 6-star token, just because of who you're fighting, should have been the option. You should have been guaranteed it. If I'm using Ghostbusters and I have Ghostbuster Cena taking on not only Seth Rollins mutant, but mutant Hogan, give me a 6-star medallion. Give me, because the headache is already there. Now, granted, there's people, again, haves and have-nots. Contest superstars. Cool. I dig it. That's the reason why you came up with it. Some things you'll get, some things you won't. But sometimes the content's just a slap in the face. Like, we could have had a whole thing. We could have had Survivor Series War Games. We could have done that. They could have done a anniversary Survivor Series where you fought against Undertaker, fought against The Rock, people who debuted at Survivor Series. You could have had certain situations. You could have had a moments tour from different things that happened from Survivor Series. Meaning they kept on like literally, think about this. I want y'all to think about this. The Shield debuted at Survivor Series. The Rock debuted at Survivor Series. The Undertaker debuted at Survivor Series. Gobbledygooker debuted at Survivor Series. Why didn't we have a Survivor Series moment brought into the game that was free, that could have been unlocked? Different things. Even the moments themselves. The moments is also something that got introduced, right? Now, certain ones, they give you boosts, and that's cool. But I personally feel moments was an opportunity to do a story mode. Do something similar to Legends of WrestleMania, where you play these things out. And depending on how far you get, depends on if you're like how much you enhance the moment. And some of these moments are going to help out because they're permanent boosts, and they help out characters. I'm not taking nothing away from that. That's a good look too. But there's a different side to it. You have a wrestling game. Have a storyline. Even if it's a couple sentences and a couple things, do like old school SmackDown versus Raw. Have a little interaction with one of the managers, have somebody like have the debate, have the female scuffle, have something that go down backstage, make things interesting. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many new characters you bring into the game, if the content is stagnant, if the content does not change, people's interest is going to fade. It's going to fade. That's what it's going to be. And I'm still a guy that feels just like CM Punk, to paraphrase it. WWE Champions is $1 million game that could be $1 billion. It's $1 million game made by $1 billion company that could be $1 billion game made by $1 billion company. But again, on one side, I want to get on Scopely. The other side, it comes down to us as players. We continue to invest when we don't need to. I'm like me looking at the action figures and stuff. Growing up on toys, I was cool with the Ghostbusters. But then you got people who bash the Ghostbusters, but then they're also the first ones to take them to 6-star. So it just shows, like, sometimes just be real. Just be real with yourself. I'm grateful for everyone who keeps the lights on, but y'all play a critical role in this just like anybody else. As much as I would like to point the finger at Scopely, gotta point the finger at us players too. Because 1 minute we're bashing them for glitches and everything, but we still play. So it's an endless vicious cycle that I don't like, and it takes away from the enjoyment of the game to some extent. But I've also came back to realize that I'm in control, just like you are. You can play however you want. You can do what you want. But there's a lot of things that before we can expect change from a company that's a $1 billion company, you got to change yourself. You gotta change how you look at things. You gotta enjoy life, man. I don't like seeing grown men throw fits, throw tantrums like little kids over a game. But I also understand a grown man and grown women having their perspective, having constructive criticism, having proper right to be frustrated and annoyed. It's sad when you want to enjoy a game that you thought was supposed to be free to play, and the more and more you play, you realize the big gap there's becoming between free to play, free to win, and pay to win. I dig that. I understand. I'm not. It's like leaderboards and stuff don't even matter anymore. It's beyond that. It's just a thing of having fun with the characters you need. Sometimes you're going to have the contest superstars. Sometimes you're not. So when it comes to the winter wonder, like I said, they had a good list. Nikki Ash is a pretty good character. Hall of Fame Austin's been handed out pretty decently. Eddie Guerrero Hall of Fame. Everyone had a chance to get him absolutely free. They throw in some good things when it comes to the portal. The prices are still questionable. They have some solid offers depending on where you are in your game. I literally feel that Champions is a game where you can spend up to a certain point and then you can fall back. And when it comes to games that comes to Champions now, I feel like this too. If I were to spend now, I'd rather spend on the resources that I know that are going to guarantee me further progression than spending just on a loot. If you're just getting loot coins in packs, you're not spending. I'm not telling you how to spend your money, but that's a poor choice. Go for the options that are going to give you the coins, give you the 1,000 TP, give you the tokens, the Hall of Fame. Go for something where even if you get scoped and you don't pull someone new, you at least get something in return to invest and progress your account further. That's where I'm at with it. But at the same time, I also look at what you're getting, and depending on the deal, depending on the offer, it might not be the best situation. And just because you spend $200 on an offer, that's right. I still can't believe that there was actually a point in time where now we are here in this game. I have never seen any other games where they literally blatantly have $500 offers just there and people buy them. It is what it is. Thank you for keeping the lights on. But it also tells you like where's this game at when you have to push these offers out like that. If you were doing everything right, the $100 offers is all you need. If you know how to configure and figure everything out, you know it. But the problem is when these offers come out and players buy them, it's letting them know they don't care. They're looking at it like you bought it. So that means that we can put any price tag on it. Y'all are going to buy it. So it's a fine line, y'all. It's a fine line. I'm happy with who I got. Literally, Taker's going 6-star. Rob Van Dam's going 6-star. Rey Mysterio's going 6-star. Bro is going 6-star. Sean is going 6-star. Ray is going to go 6-star. I got nothing but time. I'm playing it casually. I'm getting to a point where I don't even want to grind out feuds like that because what's it mean? It's something that it's something that doesn't carry over or transition over like anything else. Me having this top roster, what? Me having over 3 million roster. There's people out there I believe with like 5 million, 6 million. Well, that isn't improving my credit score. That isn't going to pay my bills. But I'm proud of the moves that I've made. I mean, look, I would have never thought, if it weren't for the Broski Merricks, right? I would never thought that I would have a 5-star silver Chain Gang Cena. Why? Why? Here's why. His trainer ability. Receive less from blue damage. Yellow gems do 35% damage. Blue gems do 30% more damage. Coaching ability. Trainer ability. I never thought I would have a 5-star silver Showboat Cena. But that 45% damage for gems and yellow MP, worth it. Helped K-Quick out. Him with Kofi, Showboat Cena, Hall of Fame Undertaker, and Striker Braun. Who remembers those days? You come on now. If you know, you know. When the content creators made this is wild. The card was already made. The card's being released. Braun gets released by the WWE. So then all of the content creators made preview videos on a card that could not be named. Like he was Lord Voldemort. Like, come on now, y'all. And now he's back in the game. So I won't be surprised. We got Monster Among Men Braun. We have Black Sheep Braun. We got Strowman Express. And now he's back. I'm getting a feeling we might get a new powerhouse version. We very well might get a powerhouse monster of all monsters, Braun Strowman, coming soon. And guess what? I bet you he sells better than what Ezekiel's going to be doing. But at the end of the day, y'all, I've went on longer than I need to. It just feels good to be back. 6 stars are a thing. Who knows when 6-star silvers are coming? Who knows when 6-star golds are coming? Auto clear is a thing. Ghostbusters are a thing. I was hoping that we were going to get Masters of the WWE Universe. I was really thinking that. But who knows what part 2 is going to be? Who knows? And just so you know, if you got this guy, you're set. Even if you only got the free part of him, I should have started a free-to-play account with this one, because actually that would have been pretty good having him as the main go-to. But definitely going to take him up to 6-star. Got enough shards. Like, shards are there. It ain't going to be nothing to get a couple other to get the 4K. Got the 100% gem damage strap on him. John was great. John was hands down a great freebie. And that's the thing about champions. On one side, they might do you wrong. It's literally a love-hate situation, because then you get the Grant Camping thing, the 80 loot coins. Whether that was a mistake or not, if you know how much it costs to do a loophole, you lucked out. You got mad lucky with that. Then there's other things like the Black Friday. They could have done the whole thing on Cyber Weekend that was specifically for pay to play, but you could have also had things going on for free to play. Because I literally thought there was going to be a tour where you could get the tasers and get more medallions and stuff, so you could at least have a chance at one of those free loopholes with the medallions, or having a shot. That wasn't the case, but it is what it is. The game can be fun, but also be responsible. This is a game where if you've been played it long enough, you know better. So if you know better, you should do better. There's some times where they deserve praise. There's some times where they deserve constructive criticism. But at the end of the day, we are in control. We don't have to spend our money on every single loot banner. You don't have to go all out on every single MLC. Like I said, Happy Corbin, I like Baron Corbin. I wish that he went back to Lone Wolf Corbin. I really wish, because that was a botch in itself. But look, anything can happen now. Solo Sikoa, the whole bloodline thing. I would love to see a new link for the bloodline. We got the Inoue, family link and everything. But I would like to see something done with the bloodline. The gear was there. Heck, I'd love to see Ridge Holland. I would love to see Sheamus and Pete Dunne now have Brawling Brutes as a link. There's a lot of prospects. There's a lot of hope. I have hope. And when you have hope, anything bad can happen. You just keep going. And I just thank God for everything. I'm grateful. I thank God for this account. I thank God for my faction family, Phoenix Rises. I thank God for you, all of you who stayed by my side and waited for me to drop a video. I thank God for everything. So I'm not going to get bent out of shape about champions anymore. I just feel that it's good to vent and get out what I feel. Maybe you agree. Maybe you don't care what I say. But it's also a thing of, we have a voice. I'm going to utilize mine. I'm looking forward to having 6 stars. I cannot wait for... It's so beautiful that I was able to unlock Undertaker shortly after he was released. I got his last shards from a from a prize wall. I spent so much to get his sigil. I've invested so much. But I have no qualms about that. It's a hobby. It's a very expensive hobby. But to know how much, like literally, back to the Tuvement days, back to Davey D and Vengeful One with that podcast, I literally got into wrestling because of The Rock on SmackDown and a girl coming to my birthday party and giving me a Dead Man Undertaker action figure, one of the flexi ones, one of the flexi versions of of Dead Man Undertaker. And that's my introduction to wrestling. And to know that my first 6-star is going to be The Undertaker, Hall of Fame. I think God's beautiful. So certain things, it doesn't even matter about tier lists. I've gotten to that point where I like who I like. Taker has proven to be one of those guys that you can use him for anything and everything. He's got a build for Showdown. He's got a build for Blitz. He's got a build for feuds. He's got a build for